Sunday morning. Had another 80 millimetres of rain yesterday, so I am going to get wet feet today because I've got to go down to the weather station and change the battery. It went offline a few times yesterday, and I think, well, the batteries might be a bit old in that. I'm not sure that 80 millimetres of rain made it look any wetter out here. Oh, Indian runner ducks have decided to run again. I should go down and have a look at the creek, given that I'm going to go and get wet feet anyway. But before I do that, I'm going to show you that I got my missing element for my shower arrangement yesterday. This is the thermometer. It has a little digital display in there, and I can just twist this round. It'll end up sort of like that with the tap above that T-piece and the shower hose coming off to the left. So just got to get Dadang to change over that other tap to this one. Shouldn't be too hard, it's just a matter of turning off the right tap on the tank stand, unscrewing the other tap and screwing this one in with the requisite amount of plumber's tape. So I'm going to remember to take that too. And I'm walking past a bounteous harvest of sweet potato. And there's no avoiding getting wet feet. It's no surprise to see the creek is running high. I wonder if I'll see any fish. Perhaps not this time. I'm really here to change the battery in this thing. So that's 2 new cells in there. That papaya had fallen down previously, but I see now there's another one fallen down here beside the path. They're a bit too shallow rooted, I think. Normally, being a Sunday morning, I would have come over and given this a bit of a run, but since it's been set on automatic, and last time it was run was last Sunday, I'm just going to leave it alone and see whether it does an automatic maintenance run. It's supposed to do that 7 days after the last run. Well, I didn't wait for Dadang. I couldn't find the valve to turn off to stop the water flowing to that tap on the right, but I unplugged the pressure pump, and that meant that it was just down to gravity flow. So I was able to unscrew that tap and screw in the other tap, and it got a bit wet in the process, but it's all connected now. So if I put this shower down out of the way so I don't get wet from it, I can now turn on this and show you that the water's coming out of there 30.5 degrees. Just to give it a bit more chance to heat up. A bit more flow, so it's up to 31, 32, 32 and a half. Then I can regulate that with turning on the other tap, he says. 34 and a half, so if I turn on the cold there, I should have more cold. Okay, so now it's putting the other one. I think it might be the pressure pump for the warm water might be higher pressure. So 29, turn on the warm. No change. Turn off the cold. Okay. Yeah, damn if I know. Never mind, we'll figure it out. It's in place now anyway, whether it works or not. It's Monday, and we had another 90 millimetres of rain yesterday. It looks like the rainfall rate got a bit too heavy for that, and pushed it out of the bottom of the spouting. So I've got to figure out a way of securing that up there now. The other one's not in danger of doing that. It has those nice right angle brackets holding it across there. So deal with that first one at the front. Yeah, well, it started raining again. You can see 93% humidity. Yeah. So I don't really have to worry about getting wet when I go out in the rain because I'm already wet. Brought this UPS across to my lounge room. That's 42 kilograms. And getting up on the bench, well, you can see where I've been. Getting up in the bench there, I was going to use lifting strap and the hoist, but with too strong limiting myself, we picked it up and put it up there. But I'm looking a bit saturated. Here I am. And there's my shirt. So yeah, gonna get wet walking home. The water in the shower was coming out at a pleasant 35 degrees this morning, even after a dull afternoon yesterday. But I suspect the temperature is going to be lower tomorrow because it's not even noon yet, and we've just had 10 millimetres of rain so far. So I think it's going to be a low input day for the solar power too. I'll have to have a look at the state of charges. Maybe I need to go over and run a genset a bit later. We also had an issue yesterday with rain or water dripping from this light socket in the rear airlock. We put it on the floor here, so given that wall there, further up, that is the west gable of the house. So it's possible that penetrations through there for various cables and the water hose for that kitchen here and all that stuff. Maybe we need to put some silicone sealant around them. I'm hoping it's as simple as that. But the fear at the moment is we can't go up there and investigate that safely because the electric motor for this powered stairs is powered off that light cable. So water around that, probably not a good thing. And that is powered off the old switchboard, which means that it does not have the earth leakage fault protection. If anything powered off this switchboard, we've got the RCDs, these guys in there, so that if there's any trouble in any of these circuits, that will trip out and cut the power. But we don't have that on the old switchboard out there. Well, actually there's one there that's not wired in because Indonesian wiring doesn't have an earth as such. So the electricians didn't know how to use it when I supplied that switchboard to the house. But yeah, so sometime when it's dry, we've got to go up there and see if we can figure out where that water came from and plug up the holes. Well, I've lost contact with all 5 cameras over at the shed. Looks like a network problem to me. Might have to get the umbrella out and go and have a look. Well, we appear to have had a bit more rain. Came over to the shed to see why I'd lost contact with all of the network devices over here, and all the stuff in this corner was powered off, which means something wrong with the power. So I thought, okay, well I'll go and have a look at the switchboard. This RCBO had tripped one of the south power points, so I switched it back up and it tripped out again straight away. I thought, okay, what could be doing that? What's changed? So I thought, well, with all this rain, maybe the power point out there for the next to the pumps or what have you had got a bit of moisture somewhere, because it's got that plug pack plugged into it for the weather base station. So I went out there and jiggled that a bit and thought, okay, came back in here, flicked this on, everything's good. So, okay. Meantime, as you can see, it's raining pretty well. I'm not in a hurry to go out that even with an umbrella. Earlier, maybe needing to run the genset. Well, while I was over here, it turned itself on. Good enough. So the auto start worked. So that'll bring that from 35.6 up to 40% and then shut down the genset. I ran for a while doing that because it's pumping out 12 kilowatts and 5 kilowatts of that is immediately going across to the house. So it's only charging the batteries a little bit under 7 kilowatts given the overheads and the system itself. Still getting a little bit of solar input, not much. But yeah, the rain is bucketing down pretty well. That downspout's not doing much good, but the tank is overflowing anyway because of the other downspout. I think this botch job was my problem with the RCBA kicking out. I think this has got a bit too much moisture in this section here. So it's working okay now. And the weather station up there is powered. I moved that other weather station, base station outside to where it could get better line of sight connection to the weather station itself because we couldn't get a signal in here. Then I plugged this old base station out that I had for my weather station in Climatic. And it connected okay. So I was just thinking now that because this one connects okay, maybe I should use it instead of the other one outside to connect to the internet. When I first tried to configure the internet on it, the Wi-Fi on it, I could see it was easy whether flow dash something like that, some numbers. So I went away to look at how to set it up, and I found that. Then I went back to try to connect to this, and this one, it won't generate an SSID for me anymore. So weird things as they are. Originally this was programmed for the genset to start up at 25% state of charge and shot down to 40%. Given we're at 42.2, I have a vague recollection now that we changed that to a higher number. Don't remember what it was. I think I'm going to have to go back to the lounge room and sit and cool down. It's getting very steamy here. There's a bit of a giveaway that the tank is really full. It's throwing water out this input pipe. So yeah. Good chockers. You can see the genset's shot down now. And that's, well, it must have charged it up to 60% because it's still pushing 5 kilowatts to the house. So okay, so we run from 25 to 60% nowadays. That's good. That change was made because the capacity of the shed is lower than the capacity of the house. So if the capacity at the house is set so that it charges from 25 to 40%, it's going to draw this thing down from 40% and then run out of state of charge before it starts the genset again. So you may as well run it up to 60% so that you at least get one full charge cycle across to the house. So yeah, now I know. Well, I've got my 5 cameras at the shed back again. They'd gone a get way again, and so I went over after dinner to try and figure out what was causing this. and it took me quite a while, and you'll see that in the next few clips. Well, power went off on the south RCBO again, and I've tracked it down to being somewhere in here, the problem. And I'm damned if I can figure out what's going on, because for some reason or other they got 0 ohms resistance between those two rails. I don't understand why. I really don't understand why. As if I apply power to this, it's okay until I switch on one of these two breakers, at which point it says, okay, game over. So that's applying power through to the power inside, power to the time countdown relay. So I don't know where our problem lies. I hope it's not that guy up there. Do I have an easy way to disconnect that? I'll have to check that out. Unfortunately, I just proved it is that guy up there, because I disconnected one of the wires to it and powered everything up here. Switched the switches up and they're all good. So I touched that wire to that terminal there and clicked out. So I've got to replace this guy up here. I do have another one of those, I believe. It was Tuesday. We had another 100 mils of rain yesterday, or over 100 mils. Hard to know exactly how much, because with the electrical problems we had here over the shed, the weather station was offline for a fair bit of time. So the last reading from the weather station was 99.25 millimetres. So I'd say we probably had as much maybe as another 10 to 15 millimetres after that. But yeah, so I'm here to try and fix up this water steriliser. That bubble wrapped package at the back down there is another complete water steriliser kit, so in there will be a power supply or ballast, and I checked yesterday and I can actually buy those ballast units from Shopee locally, so I'll get a couple of spares given that they appear to be a consumable, because this will be the third one that's been used here over the last 7 years. This new ballast unit is a different model, so as you might notice, the screw mounts are top right, bottom left instead of mid right, mid left, which means I'd have to drill another hole in order to put this one up there. But given that I can get that exact model from Shopee locally, and I was planning to get a couple of spares, I'll just leave this here plugged in directly to the power point at the moment. So this will be on 24/7 instead of 12 hours a day until I get replacement unit for that, which I'll do a like for like replacement and then cable it back in to here by cutting the power lead off the end of it. But that'll do for now. And the new one of these actually had a connection in the middle as well. There's yet another pressure gauge which screws into that. So this particular kit, which included this and the new sterilizer that's inside, came with 3 separate pressure gauges, which is, well, I'm all in for overkill, but boy is that really overdoing it. But okay, so that bit is done for now. I'll just go away and order the replacement units. The other problem I have at the moment is 2 of the cameras at the shed stopped working. So it wasn't electrical this time. It was probably just the humidity's buggered up the connections. One of them was working again. That was the one that looks at the back door, but the one that looks across the front is not working, so I need to go out and see what's happening with that, which involves setting up a ladder to get up there and fiddle with that. I think there's room here for a ladder, so I'll be right. Okay, those cameras are back online now, so I think my work here is done. I've spent long enough over here that I really should have been running that sump pump in the meantime, because I'm sure with the groundwater level rising, we've got plenty of water in there again. I'll use my dipstick and check. Surprisingly, it's only up to there. I think last time I looked it was about there, so it's probably tripled what's in there, but it's not as much as I was expecting, because this thing has been known to fill up to pretty much the top. Just thought I'd take the opportunity while I was here to install the Anki Vision software, which is what lets me look at the cameras connected to the Anki DVR over in the house. That's what I look at in the lounge room all the time. So I didn't have that installed over here. And it's a better way of looking at the cameras than trying to look at them on my little phone. But it's very slow. Slow PC maybe? Shouldn't be that bad. But yeah, I'm getting hot. 30 degrees, 74% humidity in here. And with the dull day yesterday and half the day before, not only was the charge on the batteries at the house and shed depleted, the water temperature in our warm tank has decreased too. That's down to 32 now, which is at the low end of what's comfortable for a shower. But with a bit of sunlight on there today, hopefully we'll boost it back up again. Well, it's taking forever, so I've told the thing to hibernate and I'll come back later. But I'm getting too hot now. Perhaps they should rename it from wet season to thunderstorm season. Today's is a ripper. It's stopping me watching TV, because the HDMI cable from my computer to my TV must be susceptible to interference. So every time there's a bit of lightning, or even the fridge in my room, lounge room there, if it switches off, that causes enough interference on the HDMI cable that the TV goes blank for a moment. So presently it's almost spending more time blank than displaying stuff. It's been quite a vocal thunderstorm. Well, we had a mains power outage last night for a while, and Dad showed up here saying my house has not got a power on, so came out and had a look, and his RCBO had tripped along with two others, so I switched his back on and his power came back on. But the fact that he's still using power indicates that he's turned off his main switch and he's fiddling around. So I need to go over there and turn his main switch back on, so the automatic switch switches back to PLN. These RCBOs, they are basically a combined RCD and breaker. So if these get a mismatch on the two wires going through them, so it means that some of the power is escaping to earth somewhere, they will trip out. So it means generally a wiring problem at the far end. So Nando and Yaya, they may have some wiring issues, and Dadang, I just wonder whether the actual process of the automatic transfer switching can cause this to trip out. Didn't do so for Lizu's house, that worked fine, but I need to go over there and change his PLN switch back to the other position. And while I was fixing the electrical problems at the shed yesterday, Dadang fixed up that downspout, and he's come up with a good solution there with putting a prop under it to stop it falling out again. So that's all good. If we can see past the reflections, here's the automatic transfer switch at Dadang's house. You can see there that's currently switched to the off-grid system, the lower position. So if I go up here and let's flick the main switch, there you go, switches back to PLN. So that's sorted out now. The next day's thunderstorm has begun. So yeah, more rain. Just beginning. Here we go. Just starting. But yeah, it'll have another dump. Not sure if the hot water or warm water tank has had enough chance to heat the water up again today, but we've reached 100% capacity on both off-grid systems, house and shed. I might just go and test the water and see what temperature it's at. It's the Thursday afternoon thunderstorm. Yeah, we had a couple of millimetres of rain yesterday, despite the fact that the sky was pretty noisy. And that meant we actually had enough sunshine yesterday to get the temperature of the shower water back up to 38 degrees. Cooled down a bit overnight, so it was back down to 34 this morning. I just checked it now and we're back up to 38 again. So comfortable shower. It's my optimal shower water temperature is 39, so we're pretty damn close. It's Friday morning. There was just under 2 millimetres of rain yesterday, despite the quite vocal thunderstorm. So we'll see what we get into this afternoon's thunderstorm. Yeah, so big Friday morning. I better put together what I've got and do an upload.